Good morning. Welcome to a fantastic Friday. Let's start our morning with our programming, our manifestation, our dreams, and then let's start it. All right, let's start. How wonderful. So let's start a morning with a learning, with a guided learning. And today it's all about refuse to choose in the morning. And that's going to be about I can't get started. We have so many dreams, so many ideas, but we can never get started because we haven't chosen them, because we have put them on a backlist. We put ourselves on a backlist just because we think that there's so many other things that need a time, attention, priority. And we forget the fact that we are important. And then we can't get started. So, chapter 7, I can't get started. I'm so glad to know I'm a scanner and not just a mess. But what do I do now? Quit my job and jump into the unknown? I spend my life planning all kinds of things I'll never do. The next day, I'm planning something different. How do I stop planning and actually do something? Now, that's $1 million question. In fact, I'll say questions. Let's understand that why do we see this? Or why do we feel this? Or why do we do this at times? Not always, but at times. It's great to know you're a scanner. So finally, acceptance that, yes, I could be a scanner because I keep jumping. All the energy you've directed towards trying to change into a different kind of person, all the time you've used up being bewildered or angry at yourself, have opened up and are now yours to use. Think of it, time and energy you didn't know you had for creating a wonderful future. You're free to take your first step towards a life you've been longing for. But how do you take that first step? What is the first step? Which goal should you choose? How can you be so sure it's right? Yeah, it's nice to know that I can finally stop blaming myself for being a scanner, myself for not realizing that, oh, this is not my calling and this is my calling, and sometimes feeling this is right and sometimes feeling that is right. It's all right. I've been a scanner. But the distance between that knowledge and taking our first step might seem as big as it ever was. You can see obstacles everywhere, both real obstacles and imaginary ones. So, one thing is, obstacles are there, but 90% they're the imaginary ones, the procrastination of mind. Oh, the thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? And what if this happens? The what if is the hugest game. Now, we have to stop living in that what if game. But what can you do about these obstacles? Obstacles are either real or they're not. The ones that aren't real are based on misinformation or emotions, and they are the ones we have to track down first. Did you read the word emotions? 90% it's about ऐसा नहीं हुआ तो क्या ऐसा हो सकता है. It's feelings, emotions, misinformation. पता ही नहीं कि चीज़ क्या होने वाली है. We are in the dark, so we think ऐसा शायद नहीं हो जाए, not knowing that each one of us is actually a source of abundance. शिद्दत से कुछ चाहेंगे, कुछ दिल से कुछ चाहेंगे, if we really, really want it, it will happen. But yeah, there's a fine line. You'll find that real obstacles are a lot easier to get around, and we'll deal with those too. So let's get started on a search for the ones that aren't real. They need a little scrutiny, a little sorting out. Then you'll be ready to address your real obstacles. I can't get into action, said Lane, executive secretary for a local shipping company. I never get past thinking about what I want. I just sit around making endless list of possibilities about a dozen directions I could take, but I never end up making any moves. Anyways, I can't risk quitting my job and jumping into the unknown. So what's the point in getting started? That was quite a leap, I answered. You went straight from fantasizing with a pencil in your hand to jumping off a cliff. If my only two options were making lists or quitting my job for the unknown, I wouldn't move either. But who told you those were the only choices? What else is there? Lane asked. How about hanging on your job for a while and putting your toe on the water first? There was a big, long silence. I don't even know what you mean. I never forget about jumping. After your workday is over, go out and get some information. Leave the world you know and find a way to hang around in the world you're interested in. Find websites and see if there are any conferences coming up that you could go to. Ask your librarian to help you find trade magazines in areas that interest you and take the time to read them. Don't just buy them and keep them. Well, 90% of us, we buy literature or we keep literature and we're like, oh, one day we'll read it. And then one day never comes. And then after a while, whatever we were interested in, either we've lost interest in them or they go trashed in a radhi just because we have bought them or got them, but haven't scheduled time to read them. Get involved in an online discussion group with people who are already insiders. People who know the job, whatever you want to do, ask them, learn from them. That's a no-risk way to learn something about those things that you dream about. Just pull some reality into that listing and planning. So many people, and scanners in particular, are stuck for the same reasons as Lane. It's one of the biggest tricks our fears play on us. They make us forget how many safe steps you can and should take there before you even think of leaving behind what you have. But if I don't jump, I'm afraid I'll never know. I'll never move. You might be thinking, well, think again. Grand gestures make good fantasies, but when it comes to actually doing them, most of us aren't that reckless. We've seen that what happens when people get reckless, maybe even experienced it ourselves. So by keeping the risk levels high, we aren't forcing ourselves into motion. We are forcing ourselves to do nothing. Making lists and plans without actual information, just an extension of the fantasy. For many scanners, daydreaming with the pencil in your hand is a way of life. In fact, it's a way to avoid action when your dreams look impossible. Real planning, on the other hand, the kind with facts and appointments and deadlines, is totally different. The kind of list is an action in itself. So what do? We've heard about the power of writing. Whatever we want, day scanner notebooks we have, we write all our dreams from A to Z, whatever looks possible, impossible, what we want to do, what we want to do, and what we further could want to do. Now that we know from writing down these ideas to making something happen, let's look at Lane's case to understand where each one of us in our individual world, from all this idea curation, can actually curate it in person. One of her ideas is to start an online clearinghouse for small town recyclers, a central information exchange that would keep them abreast of the latest technical developments and government rulings, maybe even allow them to keep in touch with some small other town recyclers. She got the idea when she was in charge of the cycling co-op of the township, where she lived and was certain there was a great need for that, which she envisioned. But I have lots of other ideas too, she says, about totally different things, too many things for that matter. Just for the sake of discussions, let's look at this first one. I know for reality, really fun way for you to design the kind of plan that actually makes you into action. Once you learn to use it for another project, you'll be able to use it for all others. Don't think of that as huge undertaking. Think of it as nothing but a practice run, okay? I guess so, she said hesitantly. Action. The very thought freezes many of us in our tracks. As a dedicated scanner, you can be forgiven for refusing to move when you believe it required abandoning your other dreams. But you've already seen that such choices are unnecessary. Even so, it can be hard to actually leave the gate. You too might be thinking, which goal do I try first? So I'll say it again. Because fear can make us hard of hearing, it doesn't matter which goal you try first because this is only practice. Later, you can decide which of your goals you want to actually do first. Remember, we'll be able to go after all of our dreams, but we can learn how to do so by picking one and doing a practice run with it. Practice until we get perfect. So, practice one, bring it to fruition or take it further, and then the others will follow. With that barrier to action removed, you may be running out of excuses, but I know most of you are still feeling plenty of hesitation and are not ready to take your first step. Lane, however, prided herself on being a rational person. If I could get my plans in order, of course, I'd move. There are just so many things to consider, she says. वही जो स्कैनर की टिपिकल माइंडसेट है कि अरे मुझे पता होता क्या करना है तो मैं तो कर ही लेती ना व्हाट्स द बिग डील अबाउट इट मैं तो मुझे पता ही नहीं मुझे क्या करना है इतने सारे आइडियाज हैं क्या करना है कब करना है कुछ पता नहीं तो आपने बोला मैंने लिख ली इसका नोटबुक में अब क्या आई कांट मूव बिकॉज बहुत कुछ है और ये नहीं करूंगी तो ये छूट जाएगा ये करूंगी तो ये छूट जाएगा ऐसा and that procrastination and that mentality is making us stand right there on the threshold of the gate, not making us take the leap to go inside the room. So Barbara says she held out a letter she received that morning. Tell me what you think of this, I said. She took it and tipped her glasses to read. The letter says, Barbara, my obstacles are things like this. What if I write an ebook and nobody buys it? What if I offer my services as an information researcher, but I have to go out and market myself to lots of people? I don't like talking to lots of people. So I don't do it. What if nobody will buy my photography because it's invisible in a sea of competition? What if I learn how to be a good webmaster and then technology makes me makes my service obsolete? I'm trying to find a career that is perfect match for me, but in the process, I'm drowning in a sea of what ifs. I'm paralyzed by the very analysis that is my most marketable talent. What do I do now? Signed Ed. Lane put down the letter and looked at me. Well, he's just driving himself crazy. Do you think I'm doing that? That I'd be afraid to move even if I worked out a good plan? Barbara says, I don't know. But making the risk as high as you did by assuming you'd have to leave your secure job, take the first step, makes action almost impossible, doesn't it? So all of us, let's relate ourselves to Barbara's guidance with Lane, and even Ed wrote a letter. Are we sticking there? Are we still there? Are we looking at things? Are we making excuses, or is our fear talking? Lane says, I guess it does. I won't feel too bad about it, Barbara says. Action in the direction of a wish is frightening. Remember this. Action in the direction of a wish is frightening. Most of us create a much more elaborate defense than yours. I want to work with animals, but I need a degree. So I'd have to change jobs to have time for school. But then I won't have enough money, so I'll have to find a cheaper place to live. But I can't do that until I pay off my credit cards. We weigh ourselves down with so many obstacles, we can't even buy a goldfish bowl. She tried to smile, and I wanted to keep her smiling, so I handed her another amusing clipping I saved from a newspaper. Even the European Union does it, I said. This is what the clipping said. Innovation gives Finland a firm grasp on its future economy, offers a new model for old Europe. Right now, said Hermione, a young Finnish intellectual. Europe is like a once fit top athlete who has fallen out of shape. Instead of taking action, the athlete who has fallen, instead of taking action, the athlete keeps writing new strategic plans on how to evolve, on how to play, on how to get back in shape, on how to keep running. I could go running, I could go swimming, so on, so forth. But sometimes it feels that the European logic is when I'm in better shape, I will start exercising. Isn't that what we all think? जब time सही आएगा तो काम अपने आप हो जाएगा या I'm waiting for the day जब वो हो जाएगा. Now that is a problem. We are waiting for the day जब वो हो जाएगा. But that day, that moment could be now. And we are stalling, हम delay करते जा रहे हैं. As she read the article, I was thinking about how difficult it can be to move from thinking to taking action and how many reasons we can come up with to avoiding doing those. Of course, scanners aren't the only people who get stopped by analysis paralysis. This analysis paralysis हम सबको होता है. हम इतना analyze करते हैं that we get paralyzed कि अरे नहीं हो सकता. बस the buck stops there. But their problems are multiplied by the sheer number of goals they have. इतना कुछ करना है life में तो एक भी चीज नहीं कर पाते तो इतना कुछ करना है. We are overburdened with our huge list. But the best part about all of us is we are interesting beings. हमें लाइफ में इतना कुछ करना है यही तो हमारा एंजॉयमेंट वाला बात है. एक तरफ फोकस या लक्ष्य नहीं है कि भाई यही चीज करना है, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है. व्हाई नॉट? लेकिन एक एक करना तो शुरू करें, स्टॉल करना बंद करें. So Muriel says, I made a vow to myself earlier this week to list the top 3 things which I want to accomplish before the end of this year. But the top 3 kept changing, and before I knew it, I had a list of 8 top things. If the number keeps growing, I'll never accomplish any one of them. Kachal says, how much hand-wringing and quetching and procrastinating do we really have to go to get started on a goal? Why do so many of our why do so many of us subject ourselves to the impossible expectations of forcing every passing interest into a six-figure career and put off starting until we figure out how to make it pay? What if we could do just what we wanted to do without all the worry and emotional angst that's holding us back? Good questions. What's the big deal? So getting into action is a very big deal. And let's understand, bina action ki to kuch bhi nahi hone wala. Today, I'm going to be teaching and learning along with you all about taking action and how with 3 magic steps. So let's read our journey. Let's read our thing and let's understand. So ab kaam to karna padega if you really want to reach our goal, right? So kaam ke liye, let's understand how do we do it. Our defense mechanisms are designed for caution. You don't see them operating in babies, which is why babies need to be watched at all times. But caution grows with experience. Adolescents can be reckless, young people can be bold, but neither of them are a big danger to themselves as babies. The more you know about tripping, the more carefully you walk. This answers Katchel's questions above when it comes to taking real risks. What would be the caution exist for projects with no risk at all? Why would anyone hesitate to write a novel or design a line of clothing for herself? Because by the time your defense mechanisms are fully developed, they don't want you to do anything new or unfamiliar. They don't want you to bungee jump. They don't want you to take any action. Sir, can we turn the page? But they don't want you to sing in front of an audience in your living room either. And that doesn't make sense. Defense mechanisms are primitive and powerful. And they think everything new is a survival issue, right or wrong, they affect you. But if you give in for your defense mechanisms, sillier prohibitions, you won't do anything interesting at all. How do you get into action when you really want it and it's not dangerous at all? So here's a down-to-earth 3-step system that can work magic and inertia. So let's understand. डर लगना स्वाभाविक है, नेचुरल है, बिकॉज वी आर ह्यूमन बींग्स. हमारी डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म में आज से नहीं, जब से ह्यूमन बींग का निर्माण हुआ था, अर्ली मैन से, तब से डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म से. वी वर स्कैर्ड दैट टाइम, what if some animal attacks us? What if something happens? The same mechanism animals may be here, right? They also have this defense mechanism. They also fear. But now that we have fear, we understand कि हाँ fear तो होता है, लेकिन इस fear को counteract कैसे करें? How do we overcome it? इसके लिए 3 simple magic steps हैं जो हम आज समझेंगे. Now, अगर आप स्कैनर हैं जो हर समय सोचते रहते हैं कि ये करूं, कि ये करूं, कि ये करूं, कि ये करूं, good. Welcome to the world of scanners because you are extra creative people. Now, if you're a scanner who can't stop thinking and start doing it, I'd like to propose 3 small steps that used together will get you into action every time. Pehla step. Learn to use a new kind of planning, the backward planning flowchart, which won't replace action, but will actually nudge you into taking real steps. So now this step, this step, this step, this step, we start from backward, right? Are we clear till now? Backward flowchart, are we clear? जहां हमारा गोल है, फाइनल गोल, वहां से शुरू करेंगे. वंस वी अचीव दिस, उसके पहले क्या किया, उसके पहले क्या किया. अभी हम शुरू करते हैं आज से पहले स्टेप्स क्या किए. अब हम बैकवर्ड फ्लो चार्ट करते हैं. Are we clear on this, everyone? Step 2. Let this flowchart expose any hidden fears you might be feeling that make you avoid action so you can take up steps to reduce the danger. अब इस फ्लो चार्ट में फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने एक चीज लिखी है, एक पार्ट लिखा है, उसके साथ क्या डर अटैच्ड है कि क्या वर्स से वर्स क्या हो जाएगा, कि अगर मैं ये करूंगा तो ये इसके साथ गलती हो सकती है. सो मैं उसको भी लिख देता हूं बाय द साइड ऑन द फ्लो चार्ट, सो दैट एक रियलिटी चेक हो जाता है मेरा कि ये नेचुरल है या ये पॉसिबल है. स्टेप नंबर 3, एक रियल डेडलाइन एस्टैब्लिश करनी है. A drop dead date when you must be ready. This is also known as making an appointment with a living human being, and you will provide yourselves the companionship that reduces stress and the accountability that makes you move even when you feel stress. Now, once we are going to actually see that this is the time I have to create this, and यहाँ पहुंचने के लिए मुझे ये करना है, इसके पहले ये करना है, इसके पहले ये करना है, इसके पहले ये करना है, और हर स्टेप पे मुझे यहाँ ही डर का प्रॉब्लम है तो यहाँ मैं लिख लेता हूँ कि इसको अवॉइड करने के लिए मुझे ये करना है. तो हमने क्या किया, प्लान ए बी सी इंटरट्वाइन करके एक ही में डाल दिया. स्टेप 1, स्टेप 2, स्टेप 3. नाउ जब इन सबको साथ में यूज करेंगे, दिस 3 मैजिकल स्टेप्स, इट विल ट्रांसफॉर्म अस फ्रॉम अ प्लानर, a procrastinator, into an analyst maker, into an action hero and shiro. It's going to be very, very amazing because finally we know how to move the gun. Here's how they worked out with Lane, who was finally willing to try a practice goal. In my experience, I said, I found that it's not nearly as frightening to be in action as to hover around it. I can believe that, she said, but I don't believe in going off half-cocked and unready. Neither do I. I assured her, I introduced her to the first magic step, the backward planning flow chart. So backward planning flow chart, success teams के लिए और real deadline के लिए ready है, but इसको हम कल as a separate chapter पढ़ेंगे. So right now we have to understand that we are, Rahul sir, back on that page, please. So these 3 steps which are here in front of you, this is your step for today. आपने अपनी लिस्ट बना ली, उसमें क्या चीज पैरामाउंट इंपॉर्टेंस है उसको प्लान करते हुए स्टेप 1, 2, 3 करेंगे, एंड कल उसको फर्दर फाइन ट्यून करेंगे. डोंट डू द गलती वो स्कैनर्स डू कि कल पढ़ने की बात करेंगे एक साथ ही. नहीं, पहला होमवर्क हमें आज करना है, उसके बाद कल करेंगे उसको और हम क्लैरिटी से लाएंगे और क्लियर करेंगे. So let's do this. Are we ready for doing this? The 3 magic steps? Wonderful. So Rahul, so now you can take us to our sun salutations, a Surya Pranam, Surya Namaskar, so that we can take blessings and we can move our journey.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasan, Hastuthanasan, Padhastasan, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasan, Parvatasan, and hold this position. And now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasan, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasan. Left forward, Ashvasanchalanasan, Padhastasan, Hastuthanasan, Pranamasan. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs, Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale and exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Wonderful. So after taking our blessings, let's start our morning once again in the second half. And this half, we're studying the most amazing book, Letting Go. It's one beautiful thing to learn to let go in every point in our life so that we can move ahead. So yesterday we studied about feelings and mental mechanisms. Each one of us logged in and we understood that, okay, we have suppressed ourselves, we have repressed ourselves, and we have even expressed ourselves. But simultaneously, we have also been escaping. Number three, escape. Page number 13. Escape is the avoidance of feelings through diversion. The avoidance is the backbone of the entertainment and liquor industries and also the root of the workaholic. Escapism and avoidance of inner awareness is a socially condoned mechanism. We can avoid our inner selves and keep our feelings from emerging by an endless variety of pursuits, many of which eventually become addictions as our dependency upon them grows. People are desperate to stay unconscious. We observe how often people flick on the television set the minute they enter a room and they walk around in a dreamlike state, constantly being programmed by the data poured into them. People are terrified of facing themselves. They dread themselves. They dread even a moment of aloneness. Thus, the constant frantic activities, the endless socializing, talking, texting, reading, music playing, working, traveling, sightseeing, shopping, overeating, gambling, movie going, pill taking, drug using, cocktail partying, and these days, Netflixing. Everything has become binging. Why? Because it's taking you off from the main मुद्दा. आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं या करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि आप एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना चाहते what is the reality. You are becoming escapist. Many of the foregoing mechanisms of escape are faulty, stressful, ineffective. Each of them requires increasing amounts of energy in and out of itself. Enormous amounts of energy are required to keep down the growing pressure of the suppressed and repressed feeling. There's a progressive loss of awareness and an arrest of growth. There is a loss of creativity, energy, and real interest in others. There is a halting of spiritual growth and eventually the development of physical and emotional illness, disease, aging, and premature death. The projection of these repressed feelings results in the social problems, disorders, and the increase of selfishness and callousness characteristics of our present society. Most of all, the effect is the inability to truly love and trust another person, which results in emotional isolation and self-hatred. Let's understand. We are trying to avoid our feelings through diversion. Many types of diversion we've read. It could be hooked to reels. It could be hooked to WhatsApp. It could be hooked to your Facebook, social medias. It could be hooked to anything over shopping, overeating, over binging, over drinking, over gambling, anything. क्यों? Because these are the mechanisms to escape. डर के लिए कोई आपको एक option दिया गया है. Now they are very well planned by the society, हाँ? कि आपका दिमाग divert हो जाता है. So they are diversions for you. They're making you escape to the real pressure, the real acceptance of what it is. And इसमें बहुत energy जाती है so that you are not able to think of creativity. You're not really interested in anything else. जब आप hooked हो जाते हैं तो आप उस loop में फंस जाते हैं. And this is where what's happening is आप अपनी feelings को repress कर रहे हैं by using diversions. And now in society, when you're using this, you can never be focused because you're off the chart, you're off the track. And in this off-track purpose, आप अपने आप को भी trust नहीं करते हैं, and you don't even feel that you're a channel of love and light. You don't trust anybody. You don't trust yourself. And this is when you are also getting isolated. कई बार मुझे यहाँ नहीं जाना, मुझे वहाँ नहीं जाना. अरे I am not good enough. मेरे बस का नहीं है. मैं नहीं कर सकता. बाकी लोग करते हैं. I am not lucky. Look at that person. You are escaping and you're becoming a victim. A victim, self-inflicted victim, because you're believing in the word of blame game. इसने ऐसा किया तो मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. मैं अब नहीं कर सकता. बस बहुत हो गया. Escape, escape, escape. Now we are on this last paragraph in this particular page. In contrast to the above, what happens instead when we let go of a feeling? Let's read again. In contrast to the above, what happens instead when we let go of a feeling? क्या होगा जब हमने let go कर दिया? How will we feel? The energy behind the human feeling is instantly surrendered, and the net effect is decompression. The accumulated pressure begins to decrease as we constantly let go. At the moment we are like a pressure cooker. Pressure, 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 pressure. इतना pressure कि भर चुके हैं. And धीरे धीरे वो सीटी को जैसे whistle को ऊपर उठाते हो, you letting the steam go. आप जब let go करोगे तो कुकर आराम से खुल जाएगा, right? That's how we human beings have to train ourselves. धीरे धीरे let go, pressure को build off को let go. जो होगा अच्छा होगा. Everything happens for a reason. I trust the process of life. I surrender. If जो होगा ऊपर वाले पे छोड़ दिया. जिस पे भी जो भी language use करनी है, and that's why बहुत लोग ये language use करते हैं, because they understand that energy आपको नहीं लगानी है in holding on to something. because जब आपकी energy static हो जाती है, now आपको decompression mode में जाना है, where you have to just keep surrendering. But बोलना easy कैसे करते हैं? Let's understand. The accumulated pressure begins to decrease, right? Obviously, as we let go, we've talked about this. Now, everyone knows that when we let go, we immediately feel better. The body's physiology changes. There are detectable improvements in skin color, breathing, pulse, blood pressure, muscle tension, gastrointestinal function, blood chemistries. In the state of inner freedom, all bodily functions and organs move into the general direction of normalcy and health. जब आप लेट को करेंगे, आपकी बीमारियां भी खत्म हो जाएंगी बॉडी से. यू विल फील बेटर एंड एवरीथिंग विल बिकम सो मच नाइसर बिकॉज एनर्जी इज गुड. देयर इज इमीडिएट डिक्रीज इन मसल पावर. Vision improves, our mentality improves, our consciousness improves, and we find a sudden sense of relief. So much so, all the external events only are making us go in a different phase. So what is happening? A perception of our beautiful world is changing. Our entire psychology is changing. All of a sudden, we find that this change is for the betterment. एकदम से we feel happier, एकदम से we feel more loving, एकदम से we feel more easygoing. And that is what we are all here to learn and to grow. We are feeling beings, we are spiritual beings who have taken up a human body, and we have tons of emotions and feelings. Now, when feelings come and when they're not channeled in the right place, they will turn into stress. There is much attention and publicity given to the subject of stress without a real understanding of its essential nature. जड़ क्या है स्ट्रेस की नहीं समझ में आता. स्ट्रेस के ऊपर बहुत बात होती है. It is said that when we are more stress prone than ever, why? What is the essential cause of stress? Certainly, it is not the external precipitating factors. They're merely examples of the mechanism we describe as projection. It is they or it that is thought to be the culprit when in fact we are feeling is merely the letting out of the inner pressure of repressed emotions. सब कुछ हमारे आसपास हो रहा है is a mirror of our reflections. हम क्या फील कर रहे हैं वो एको हो रहा है सोसाइटी में, समाज में, लोगों के ऊपर. हमने कैसे रिप्रेस किया है, सप्रेस किया अपनी फीलिंग्स को, कितने वल्नरेबल बने हैं, कितना हम अपने आप की प्रोजेक्शन कर पाए हैं. Now that is showing externally as stress. अगर मैं परेशान हूँ, हैरान हूँ, तो people can see कि अरे ये तो बहुत worked up energy है, she's very short tempered, अरे she's got very thing. वो दिख रहा है externally, but हो रहा है internally. External factor की वजह से नहीं हो रहा. मेरे दिमाग ने मुझसे 100 विचार करवाए हैं, ये रॉन्ग हो जाएगा तो ऐसा हो जाएगा. क्या होगा ज्यादा से ज्यादा रॉन्ग. कई लोग शादी ब्याह में बहुत स्ट्रेस हो जाते हैं. क्या होता है फिर अगर थोड़ा देर लेट हो गया, हाउ डज इट मैटर. सम पीपल रिलैक्सिंग चिलिंग, कब आ रहा है बारात, क्या आ रही, कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. तो क्या हमें स्ट्रेस लेना चाहिए? इज स्ट्रेस गुड? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. स्ट्रेस इज वेरी गुड इफ इट्स फॉर प्रोग्रेशन. कुछ फिनिश करना है, यू एक्साइटेड अबाउट, थोड़ा सा नर्वस, थोड़ा सा बटरफ्लाइज, एंड दैट इज गुड. बट द रियल सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेस इज एक्चुअली इंटरनल, इट इज नॉट एक्सटर्नल. हम समझ लिया. The readiness to react with fear. कितना तैयार हैं हम fear को react करें, respond करने के लिए नहीं, react करने के लिए. for instance, depends on how much fear is already present within us to be triggered by stimulus. कई बार कोई चीजें होती हैं, वो हुई और हमारा शॉर्ट टेम्पर, वो ही हुई और शॉर्ट टेम्पर, वो ही हुई और हम परेशान, क्योंकि हमारी ट्यूनिंग वैसे हो गई कि अगर ऐसा होगा तो मुझे स्ट्रेस आएगा, तो मैं परेशान हो जाऊंगा, माई एनर्जी विल गो कंप्लीटली हेवायर्ड. एंड वो स्टिमुलेट करता है हमारे स्ट्रेस को, बिकॉज वी आर अलाउइंग इट टू स्टिमुलेट अस. The more fear we have on the inside, the more our perception of the world is changed to a fearful, guarded expectancy. जितना हमारे अंदर डर होगा, स्ट्रेस होगा, जितने हम उम्मीद करेंगे लाइफ से, चीजों से, उतना हम परेशान होंगे. तभी कई लोगों को आपने सुना होगा जो बोलते हैं, डू नॉट एक्सपेक्ट टू मच, गिव विदाउट एक्सपेक्टेशन. जब हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं तो हम उस कसौटी पे खरे उतरे कि नहीं, उससे भी हम परेशान होते हैं. जो इंसान डरा हुआ रहता है, स्ट्रेस से भरा हुआ रहता है, उसके लिए ये वर्ल्ड कतई अच्छी जगह नहीं रहने के लिए, बिकॉज अरे द वर्ल्ड इज नॉट अ गुड प्लेस टू लिव इन. बहुत स्ट्रेस है, बहुत कंपटीशन है, नहीं हो सकता. बिजनेस करने में मजा नहीं आता, लोगों को कोई बोलते नहीं नहीं बहुत कंपटीशन है भाई, नहीं कर सकते, वी कांट सर्वाइव. टू द fearful person, this world is a terrifying place. To the angry person, this world is a chaos of frustration and vexation. To the guilty person, it is a world of temptation and sin, which we see everywhere. अब क्या होता है, जानबूझ के बनाया गया है ना चीजें टेम्प्ट करने के लिए. उसमें केमिकल्स डाले जाते हैं जिससे जो आप खाओगे और यू वांट टू ईट मोर. लाइक चिप्स, इफ यू पिक अप द पैकेट, इट्स गॉट केमिकल्स which make you want to eat more and you want more and more and more and more. वो प्लान ऐसे करा गया है कि you can't have little chips. टेम्पटेशन दी गई है ना आपको. Some people are hooked onto pornography. Now that's a temptation for them. The world is there to tempt. अपने ऊपर कितनी स्टेबिलिटी है. नाउ अब टेम्पटेशन के लिए, इफ यू रिजॉर्ट टू टेम्पटेशन, आपने वो चीज कर लिया तो आप उसको, अपने कैथोलिक्स ने उसको बड़ा वर्ड इज सिन, अरे पाप कर लिया. Which they see everywhere. पाप is also, अगर बॉडी को एक्सेस खाना दे दिया, that's also पाप, because आपकी बॉडी को एक्स्ट्रा बर्न करना पड़ेगा, and it's तब एसिडिटी आएगी and problems आएंगी because you're abusing your body. That's also a sin. In fact, that's the biggest sin possible. Alcohol, drugs are secondary. What you're doing eating is, that's why they say, to make your body nice and conducive to learning and to growing, please start having non-processed food. because non-processed food में कुछ भी artificial stimulants नहीं डालते जिससे आपको stimulate करेगा आपकी body को या nervous system को that you want to eat more. You will stop where it's required. What we are holding inside colors our world. हम दुनिया किस रंग से दिख रहे हैं, क्या है हमारे अंदर, how do we see the world? If we let go of guilt, we will see innocence. Do you agree on this? अगर हम गिल्ट को छोड़ दें कि नहीं ये नहीं है, तो यू विल सी प्योर इनोसेंस, यू विल सी जॉय एवरीवेयर. कि अरे आइसक्रीम खाया, इट्स सो जॉयफुल टू सी एन आइसक्रीम, इट्स ब्यूटीफुल. हाउएवर, अ गिल्ट रिडन पर्सन विल ओनली सी इविल. अगर मैं गिल्टी हूं, भरी हुई हूं गिल्ट से, देखो जानबूझ के आइसक्रीम रखते हैं यहाँ पर, बकवास कर रखी है कि हम खाएं. अरे सो सो यू नो माय डैड करा, आई कांट इवन सी, बिकॉज अब मुझे वहीं जाएगा, आई एम गिल्टी के, जो दिख नहीं जाए, मैं अट्रैक्ट नहीं हो जाऊं, मैं खा नहीं लूं, या मैं ये नहीं कर लूं, मैं वो नहीं कर लूं. सो इफ यूर गिल्ट फ्री, you're lighter. If you're guilty, you're heavier. The basic rule is that we focus on what we have repressed. Universal law है कि जो आपने रिप्रेशन किया है वो आगे बढ़ के आएगा ही. अभी दबाया, कभी ना कभी गुबार फूटेगा ही. that volcano is full of that, वो कभी ना कभी लावा निकल के बाहर आएगा ही, और हम उसके ऊपर फोकस करते हैं जाने अनजाने में. Stress results from the accumulated pressure of our repressed and suppressed feelings. The pressure seeks relief, and so external events only trigger what we have been holding down, both consciously and unconsciously. क्या आपने दबा के रखा है जाने अनजाने में, वो ही बाहर निकल के आएगा. जो भी आपकी ब्लॉक्ड ऑफ एनर्जी है, फीलिंग्स हैं, वो री इमर्ज होंगी आपकी ऑटोनॉमिक नर्वस सिस्टम से, एंड आपकी बॉडी में पैथोलॉजिकल चेंजेस आएंगे और डिसीज शुरू हो जाएगा आना, बिकॉज नेगेटिविटी का सेकेंड रूप क्या है, डिसीज इन द बॉडी. अगर आपकी बॉडी में एसिडिटी है, एसिड रिफ्लक्स है, या आपके जॉइंट्स में दर्द है, या आपको थायराइड है, या ब्लड प्रेशर है, ये क्यों है? क्योंकि ऑटोनॉमिक नर्वस सिस्टम आपके स्ट्रेस को बाहर निकाल रहा है। और अगर आप एक लाइफ मेडिटेट करना शुरू कर दें, बॉडी को डिटेक्ट करना शुरू कर दें, आपकी ब्रीदिंग डीप कर लें, आपकी नेगेटिविटी अपने आप खत्म हो जाएगी, बीमारियां अपने आप खत्म हो जाएंगी। ये नहीं कि कल खत्म हो जाएंगी, इट विल टेक टाइम बट दिल हैपन। A negative feeling instantly causes a loss of 50% of the body's muscle strength and also narrows our vision both physically and mentally. जब आप स्ट्रेस्ड होंगे तो आप बोलेंगे अरे मन नहीं कर रहा करने का, नहीं नहीं भाई मेरे को तो नहीं जाना। तब क्या होगा, आपको लेथार्जी आएगी, अरे कहीं बस बैठ जाओ, बात नहीं करो लोगों से। क्यों? कि आपकी पॉजिटिव एनर्जी तो खत्म हो गई, अभी नेगेटिव एनर्जी को एक्सप्रेस कर लिया। बॉडी में हिम्मत ही नहीं है, फिजिकली भी मेंटली सोच में यू कांट थिंक स्ट्रेट because you're not in the right conducive atmosphere. Why? Because you're stressed. Stress will not make you see. Stress is like, that जो आपके चश्मे के सामने फॉग हो जाता है, जब when you're seeing something, किसी हॉट चीज के सामने खड़े हो रहे हैं, चश्मा फॉगी हो गया। स्ट्रेस इज लाइक दैट, आपकी विजन को ब्लर कर देगा, इट विल नॉट बी एबल टू मेक यू सी। तो स्ट्रेस से कभी किसी का भला हुआ है क्या? हमें अपने आप को पूछना चाहिए। जब कभी हमको स्ट्रेस होता है, वी शुड आस्क आवरसेल्फ, इसमें तो कोई आनी जानी नहीं, लेट मी जस्ट डिस्ट्रेस माई सेल्फ। डिस्ट्रेस कैसे करना है? वी हैव ऑलरेडी लर्न मेनी 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 टाइम्स दैट डिस्ट्रेस करने के लिए अपने आप का फोकस शिफ्ट करना है। फोकस शिफ्ट करके यू कैन कम बैक टू दिस एंड से ओके नाउ व्हाई एम आई स्ट्रेस्ड, मुझे क्या फायदा हो रहा है। वर्स से वर्स ये होगा ना, मैंने अपना बैकवर्ड लिस्ट बनाई थी अपने एजेंडा में, वर्स से वर्स ये होगा ना। सो stress is an emotional reaction to a precipitating factor or stimulus. Stress is determined by a belief system and their associated emotional pressures. It is not the external stimulus that is not the cause of stress, but our degree of reactivity. Reaction is, so we all know, right? The world is about cause and effect. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We know there's universal rules. So every action has an equal and opposite reaction. कहीं नहीं लिखा हुआ every action has an equal and opposite response. जब हम respond करते हैं तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are trying to become de-stressed and then respond. Otherwise एक हमारे अंदर inherent quality है कि हम react करना ज्यादा आता है, हमको respond करना नहीं आता, क्योंकि mentally that's a universal law. But the good news is जब हम ये systems and sciences पढ़ते हैं, हम अपने बिलीफ सिस्टम्स को ऑल्टर करते हैं। दैट इज वाई हम रिएक्ट करके जो रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं। अभी हमने बिलीफ सिस्टम बनाया सोसाइटी की वजह से, या अपनी कंडीशनिंग की वजह से, या हमने कुछ देखा है। हमारे अपने बिलीफ सिस्टम्स भी होते हैं, सोसाइटी की वजह से भी होते हैं। नाउ द मिनट वी स्टार्ट सरेंडरिंग, द मोर सरेंडर्ड वी आर, द मोर लेस प्रोन वी आर टू स्ट्रेस। अगर हम स्ट्रेस ले ही नहीं और दे ही नहीं तो कितना मजा आएगा। कई लोग बोलते हैं ना आप टेंशन मत लो, तो मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ ना तो मैं टेंशन लेती हूँ ना मैं टेंशन देती हूँ। ये अगर नहीं भी सत्य है मेरे लिए तो हो जाएगा, बिकॉज मैं बार 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 ओवर द इयर्स बोल रही हूँ। Some people say, oh, don't take stress. So what do I say? I don't take stress. I don't give stress. Oh, I flow like water. So these affirmations are important to program your mind. Subconscious programming. जो हम बोलते हैं ना बिलीफ सिस्टम, इस बिलीफ सिस्टम को हम चेंज कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक ग्लास में पानी भरा हुआ है, अगर पानी इज गंदा, उस पानी को बाहर निकालूंगी तब जाकर तो पानी साफ होगा। सो इसको मैं बार बार डिस्ट्रेस कर रही हूँ अपने आप को, और अपने आप में पॉजिटिविटी भर रही हूँ। एक बार आएगा तो पानी विल बिकम एब्सोल्युटली क्लियर। कई बार वो पानी कैसे क्लियर होता है? लाइफ में नॉक्स एंड शॉक्स आते हैं, ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न्स आते हैं, इतना लो आता है कि आप वो ग्लास गिर जाता है, आप एकदम शेक हो जाते हो, ब्रेक हो जाते हो, एंड तब मेक होते हो। Sometimes knocks and shocks of life, twists and turns of life break you and make you. और झटके की वेट नहीं करनी है हमें, झटका आएगा तो मैं चीज तब्दीली आएगी। हम इस क्लास में, इस जर्नी में आ चुके हैं, हमें पावर मालूम पड़ चुकी है लेट गो की। सो हम अपने आप की प्रोग्रामिंग बदलें वेरी ग्रेजुअली। हाउ डू वी चेंज द प्रोग्रामिंग? Some of you will say she's going into a very religious world. So no, I'm not going to religion world. But if you start watching your breath, living in the present, शुरू में maybe you want to focus with the chant. Okay. That'll give you some power. Later, there should be coming a life जब आप एकदम quiet and no thoughts are coming. And that will happen to all of you. I'm telling you, if you're diligent and you're at it. So that's what it is all about, to watching your breath, to not think too much, living in the moment, being in the present. The damage caused by stress is merely the result of our own emotions. The effectiveness of letting go and reducing the body's response to stress has been demonstrated in scientific studies. See chapter 14. Many stress reduction programs offered today often miss the essential point. They try to relieve the after effects of stress rather than remove the cause of the stress itself, or they concentrate on external events. This is like trying to reduce the fever without correcting the infection. ये क्या हो रहा है? अभी हम लोग मेडिसिन लेते हैं ना, पैनाडोल ले ली, क्रोसिन ले ली, ऊपरा ऊपरी बुखार खत्म हो जाता है, बॉडी में जड़ जो है बुखार क्यों आया वो तो खत्म नहीं होता. कभी जुकाम होता निकल जान दो ना, लेट द म्यूकस फ्लो आउट. उसको स्टॉप करके फ्रीज कर लिया तो म्यूकस अंदर ही रहेगा ना. Let it flow out. We don't allow that. हमें quick relief चाहिए. We in this world quick चाहिए. Why do you think these weight loss centers or these, cafes and mushroom, immediately ये हो जाता है. Immediately हो जाता है. We want immediate gratification, immediate validation. For instance, muscle tension is the aftermath of anxiety, fear, anger, and guilt. Muscles में problem कब होगी? दर्द कब होगा? Problem कब होगी? जब guilty हो, angry हो, fearful है, anxiety है. A course in the technique of muscle relaxation is going to be very limited benefit, but it would be far more effective instead to remove the source of the underlying tension, which is a repressed and suppressed anger, fear, guilt, or other negative feelings. इसके लिए क्या करना है हमें? What do we have to do for this? We have to simply understand that in our life, जो कुछ भी हुआ है, हमारी वजह से हुआ है. We have attracted it. किसी ने किया नहीं है हमारे साथ. Life is happening for us, not of us. हमारे लिए life has a back. अब life events आते हैं, emotions आते हैं. Let's understand. The rationalizing mind prefers to keep the true causes of emotions out of awareness and utilizes the mechanism of projection to do this. It blames events or other people for causing a feeling and views itself as a helpless, innocent victim of external causes. They made me angry, bhai. They got me upset. It scared me. उसने ऐसी बात बोला तो मैंने ऐसे react किया ना. मैं तो कोई मन नहीं था. मैं तो साधु संत हूँ. अरे I am the angel. उसने ये किया. World events are the cause of my anxiety. अरे कोरोना हो गया तो मुझे हो गया तो इसलिए परेशान हूँ. मैंने थोड़ा ना कोरोना मंगाया है. मैंने थोड़ा ना कैंसर मंगाया. हो गया भाई. Because of this हो गया. क्यों हुआ है कोरोना? क्यों हुआ है कैंसर? आपको डर था ना कोरोना हो ना जाए. हो गया. आपको बोलने में लगेगा कि व्हाट इज शी सेइंग, बट दिस इज अ ट्रूथ. जब इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन पा ली हमने, कोरोना यहाँ फैल रहा है, यहाँ फैल रहा है, यहाँ फैल रहा है, तो वो आपके में फैलेगा ही ना. दूर रहो यार इस इंफॉर्मेशन से. एक्चुअली इट्स एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट. The suppressed and the repressed feelings seek an outlet and utilize events as triggers and excuses to vent themselves. We are like pressure cookers ready to release steam when the opportunity arises. Our triggers are set and ready to go off. In psychiatry, this mechanism is called displacement. It is because we are angry that events make us angry. If through constant surrendering, we have to let go of the pent-up sort of anger, it is very difficult and in fact, even impossible for anyone or any situation to make us angry. हमने कल बुद्धा की बात की थी ना, कल या परसों, right? गुस्सा हम अपने आप को होने देंगे बिकॉज हम उसकी बात अपने मन में ले रहे हैं. वो क्या बोल रहा है उसको why can't we keep it कि वो शायद ये बात बोल रहा है platonically बिकॉज उसके दिमाग में कुछ चल रहा है तो अभी वो उसकी वजह से मुझे ये बात बोल रहा है. Why can't we think like that rather than saying ये मुझे बोल रहा है? नहीं, ये मेरे परसेप्शन को बोल रहा है जो उसके दिमाग में है कि मैं ऐसा हूं. मैं ऐसा हूं कि नहीं वो मुझे पता है. तो उसके बोलने से मैं ऐसा नहीं हो जाता हूँ. अरुचि मुझे बोलेगी प्राची यू वेरी एनलाइटेंड. मुझे पता है ना मैं एनलाइटेंड हूं कि नहीं. सो मैं उसके लिए ग्लोट करूं, अरे वाओ, या मैं बोलूं अरे आई एम सो स्टूपिड, उसने मुझे बोला आई एम सो स्टूपिड. आई शुड नो माय सत्य ना, माय ट्रूथ. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दैट पर्सन इज प्रोजेक्टेड राइट नाउ. उसने भी जो वाइब्रेशन ली, इसीलिए पता है पुराने जमाने में जब घर में लोग आते थे तो चप्पल बाहर रखते थे चप्पलों में भी एनर्जी होती है। रात के वक्त जब हम सोते हैं, हम पाँव धो के नहीं सोते। अब पहले खाना भी चिमते थे तो पहले पाँव हाथ धोते थे, बिकॉज आप नेगेटिव एनर्जी को वॉश अवे कर रहे हो। रात को टूथब्रश कितने कम लोग करते हैं, कितने कम लोग फीट वॉश करते हैं रात में सोने से पहले। नेगेटिव एनर्जी को छोड़ के कितने कम लोग बेड में आते हैं। चप्पल कितने लोग वॉश करते हैं, नहीं करते, क्योंकि हमें पता ही नहीं है। वी आर ऑल एनर्जी बीइंग्स. It is very difficult, in fact, even impossible for anyone or any situation to make us angry. The same, therefore, goes for all negative feelings once they have been surrendered. जब आपने नेगेटिविटी ली ही नहीं, या जो है उसको भी सरेंडर कर दिया, तो इमेजिन कितना हल्का फील करोगे. Because of social conditioning in our society, people even repress and suppress their positive feelings. अरे इसके बारे में बहुत बात मत करो, नजर लग जाएगी. अरे ऐसा मत बोलो, बच्चे में नजर लगे, तुम मत बोलना चाहिए बेटा, नहीं बोलना चाहिए. क्यों? खुशी जाहिर क्यों नहीं कर सकते हम? नजर लग जाएगी. सोसाइटी का बिलीफ है ना, कंडीशनिंग है ना. Suppressed love results in the broken heart of the heart attack. जब आप एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते, अपने अंदर दबा दबा के रखते हो, बॉडी में पता है हार्ट अटैक आ जाता है. When my grandmother had it last year, I took the book of Louis Hay and I told her, Ma, this is why you've had it. And she's like, हाँ but ये तो है हमको. So just see. और वो कब से उनका फीलिंग था? 50, 60, 70 साल पुरानी फीलिंग थी, जो अब मैनिफेस्ट करी. इतना हम लोग लेकर रखते हैं अपने अंदर. Suppressed love re-emerges as excessive adoration of pets in various forms of idolatry. अभी अपने अंदर इतना है, तो अब किसी भगवान की मूर्ति को देखकर या किसी इंसान को देखकर या किसी जानवर को देख के बहुत प्यार उमड़ता है. Now, true love is free of fear and characterized by non-attachment. Fear of loss energizes undue attachment and possessiveness. For example, the man who's insecure about his girlfriend is very jealous. जो मैन बहुत कंफर्टेबल है कि मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड है, मेरी वाइफ तो कहीं जाएगी नहीं, शी लव्स मी undoubtedly, वो even if he sees her with 20 men, he'll be comfortable. But the man who's not comfortable will not go. So, and this is not about the woman. This is about the man. The woman is doing whatever she's doing. How comfortable is he? How confident is he? And that's the question. Uska character dikh raha aadmi ka, not the lady. It's not that she's so pure, so she's not going to do that. It's because he's so pure, he knows she can't do that. And that's beautiful. When the pressure of suppressed and repressed feelings exceeds the individual's tolerance level, the mind will create an event out there upon which to vent and displace itself. Thus, the person with a lot of repressed grief will unconsciously create sad events in life. अगर आपके अंदर इतना दूसरों के लिए फीलिंग है, हीन भावना है, आपकी लाइफ आपके सामने वैसी होगी. आप हर समय अरे ये तो खराब हुई, खराब हो गया, उस खराब ही होता रहेगा. The fearful person precipitates frightening experiences. The angry person becomes surrounded by infuriating circumstances, and the prideful person is constantly being insulted. जो लोग को लगे मेरा 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 आत्मसम्मान, अरे मुझे कोई हिट नहीं करे, और लोग हिट करेंगे, क्योंकि आपने इसको राई का पहाड़ बना के रखा हुआ. मेरा आत्मसम्मान, अरे मेरा डर सच नहीं हो जाए, सच होगा ही होगा. अरे कोई मुझे ना कह दे, कहेगा ही कहेगा, क्योंकि आप उसी को एक्सपैंड कर रहे हो. Christ बोलते हैं, why do you see the splinter which is in your brother's eyes and do not feel the beam which is in your eyes? All the great masters point us within. अपने अंदर झांको. दूसरे में बुराई दिख रही है तो वो आपके अंदर है, इसलिए आपको दिख रही है. अगर आप किसी में बुराई देखो तो समझ जाना कि मुझे इस बात पे अपने ऊपर काम करना है. अगर मैं जज कर रहा हूं किसी चीज को, कोई इंसान को, क्योंकि मैं वो मेरे अंदर फीलिंग है इसलिए जज कर रहा हूं. So it's very beautiful that the world is a mirror for us. हम वर्ल्ड को देखें, अपने करेक्शन लें. Everything in the universe emits a vibration. The higher the vibration, the more power it has. Emotions also, because they are energy, they emit vibrations. These emotional vibrations impact the body's energy fields and reveals exactly the effects that can be seen, felt, measured. तभी हमने कल बात करी थी ना कि इमोशंस एंड फीलिंग्स. अगर आज हम ऐसा क्यों बोलते हैं कि अरे माय नानी और माय दादी लव्स मी सो मच, बिकॉज वहां बिना जाए भी वी कैन फील द वाइब्रेशंस ना. अरे वहां जाएंगे तो इतना लव मिलेगा. So this is not dependent on seeing the person physically. This is an energy field. अपनी वाइब्रेशन इतनी पॉजिटिव कर लो, इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट कर लो कि आपकी वाइब्रेशन के अंदर लोग आकर दे फील, ओ वाओ, दिस इज सो सूदिंग, सो अमेजिंग, सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग. Now, these emotional vibrations impact your body's energy fields and reveal effects that can be seen, felt, measured. This is very, very important line, so I read again. Now, motion pictures they use Curly and photography, and those by Thelma Moss, they show rapid fluctuations of the color and size of the energy field with change of emotions. I don't know how many of you have gotten your aura scanned, but aura के colors rainbow colors में आते हैं, because that's what the body is made up of. हमारे जो 7 chakras हैं वो भी rainbow colors में आते हैं, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And हमारा aura भी इन colors में आता है. And हर एक color की एक meaning होती, एक पहचान होती है. आपका aura कितना strong है. This beautiful, this concept motion pictures ने एक saint का aura किया था चेक इंडिया में. Aura was running to 4.8 kilometers strong. 5 किलोमीटर तक ऑलमोस्ट ऑरा था. और वो एक पोप का उन्होंने ऑरा चेक किया. आई विल नॉट नेम द कंट्री. उनका 600 मीटर का ऑरा भी नहीं था, जबकि वो ज्यादा नोन एंड फेम थे. कई बार हम बहुत बातें करते हैं, बट हमारे अंदर क्या होता है, दैट्स असत्य. अपने ऑरा को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना आपका काम है, आपके हाथ में है. द ऑरा चेंजेस कलर एंड साइज विद इमोशंस. Muscle testing also demonstrates the energy changes that accompany emotions, as our body's muscles instantly respond to positive and negative stimuli. क्या stimuli आपको कर रहा है? Are you reacting? Are you responding? Our basic emotional state transmit themselves to the universe. The mind has no dimension or size and is not limited in space. Mind to limitless है ना? Therefore, the mind transcends and transmits its basic state via vibrational energy over unlimited distance. Transatlantic vibration पहुंचती ना हमारी, तो माइंड में विचार आया, वाइब्रेशन दी, और वो वहां जाके अमेरिका में या कनाडा में, यूएस में या कहीं पर अफ्रीका में किसी को आपकी वाइब्रेशन मिल रही है, वो आपको फोन कर रहा है या कनेक्ट कर रहा है. This means that we routinely and unwittingly affect others by our emotional state and thoughts. आपके घर में अगर 5 जने हैं, वो 5 जने क्या वाइब्रेशन लेकर आ रहे हैं, वो भी आपकी ऑरा में इफेक्ट करेगी. कई बार लगता है ना कि इस इंसान के पास जाके एनर्जी बहुत हैवी हो जाती है. आपके घर में क्या आ रहा है? इसीलिए पीपल पुट इविल आईज एंड ऑल इन द हाउस, कि ऑल द बैड स्टेज आउट. इन द feng shui and vastu, they've got these mirrors which are from many angles, 8 sides. They take all the negative energy and throw it out. There was a time in my house, 5 mirrors broke because some very negative person was staying. Jab wo 5 mirrors within 5 weeks, within 5 days, he was there for only 5 days. 5 mirrors, रोज मेरा टूट रहा था, रोज every day. इतनी नेगेटिविटी थी. छठे दिन मिरर लगाया, वो आदमी गया, टूटा ही नहीं for 1 year, 2 years. This is the kind of energy we are having. This is how impressionable. अपने आप को strong बनाना हमारा काम है. The mind has no dimensions or size and is not limited in space. Therefore, the mind transmits its basic state via vibrational energy over unlimited distance. This means that we routinely and unwittingly affect others by emotional state and thoughts. अपनी thoughts को इतना pure बनाओ कि आप एक energy में आ जाओ. Why do you think you should go to places good sung for learning? हम अभी इंटरनेट पे मिल रहे हैं एक दूसरे से, ठीक है, वाइब्रेशन आ रही है, बट कभी गए हो किसी चैंटिंग प्लेस में और वहां की वाइब्रेशन कैसी होती है ना? High, everyone, you can feel the energy, you and close energy of each other. It's so high, you come back feeling so positive. अब तो a lot of people have darshans also of मंदिर online, right? क्या वो energy, blessing, piousness मिलती है? So just see where you are. Very important to have good sang. Emotional patterns and the associated thought forms, for instance, can be picked up and received consciously by psychics at a great distance. They can be demonstrated experimentally, and scientific basis for this has been a subject of great interest in advanced quantum physics. Because emotions emit a vibrational energy field, they affect and determine the people who are in our lives. कई बार होता है ना, मुझे कई लेडीज बोलती हैं शाम के सेशन में, अब तो बहुत दिन से हुआ नहीं, कि मैं ग्रैटिट्यूड की दुनिया में आई हूँ, अब मेरे बच्चे भी आ गए और मैंने तो बताया सिखाया भी नहीं उनको। हाउ? मदर की वाइब्रेशन बदली, बच्चों की वाइब्रेशन बदल गई। फादर ने पॉजिटिवली बात करनी शुरू करी, बच्चों में फर्क आ गया। उनकी वाइब्रेशन उनके मैच कर रही है। घर में पॉजिटिव एटमोसफेयर कैसे आ गया? क्योंकि आप पॉजिटिव हो गए हो, तो आपके पास वो इफेक्ट हो रहा है। So life events become influenced by repressed and suppressed emotions at the psychic level. Thus, anger attracts angry thoughts. The basic rule of the psychic universe is that like attracts like. Similarly, love promotes love. That's why we say, let me become a channel of love. अगर मैं ही प्रेम हूं तो सब जगह मुझे प्रेम ही दिखेगा. So the person who has let go of a lot of inner negativity is surrounded by loving thoughts, loving events, loving people, loving pets. जो लोग यूनिफाइड कर रहे हैं, हर रात को बोला गया ना कि लव भेजो, just share, send love to whoever, wherever, because we have to open our heart to sending love. This phenomenon explains many scriptural quotations and common sayings that have puzzled the intellect, such as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and those who have get. पर ये बात तो अब हम सबको पता है ना, हमने मैजिक बुक में पढ़ ली ना, कि रिच रिच क्यों हो रहे हैं? कुछ ग्रैटिट्यूड दे रहे हैं। पुअर पुअर क्यों हो रहे हैं? कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं। सो हर चीज में उनके साथ ये हो रहा है। जिनके पास कृतज्ञता है, एटीट्यूड ऑफ ग्रैटिट्यूड है, उनके पास सब कुछ है, और बढ़ता ही चला जाएगा। और जो बोल रहे हैं कृतज्ञ ही नहीं है, मेरे पास ये घर नहीं है, वो गाड़ी नहीं है, वो पुअर होते चले जाएंगे। So as a general rule, people who are carrying the consciousness of apathy bring poverty, circumstances into their lives, and those with the proper consciousness bring abundance in their lives. कई लोग सुना है ना, बोलते हैं नुकसान हो रहा है भैया, धंधे में बहुत नुकसान हो रहा है। हाँ, तो आप बोल रहे तो होगा ही, और बोल रहे अरे बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है, अरे सब बहुत अच्छा है। अच्छा नहीं भी है तो अच्छा होगा ही होगा। क्या बोल रहे हो आप? वो वाइब्रेशन आपके काम पे, आपके बिजनेस में, आपकी फैमिली में। कई लोग के बच्चों से उनकी पटती नहीं, बोलते नहीं नहीं बहू ऐसी आ गई भैया, बिल्कुल भी अच्छी नहीं, और बकवास हो जाएगी। वो बोले नहीं बहुत अच्छी बच्ची है, वेरी ब्लेस्ड चाइल्ड, वैसी बन जाएगी। Because all living things are connected on vibrational energy levels, our basic emotional state is picked up and reacted to by all life forms around us. It is well known that animals can instantly read a person's basic emotional state. The experiments demonstrating that even the growth of bacteria is affected by human emotions. ये हमने किया था ना manifestation में, jar experiment किया था ना हमने, we talked about it, कि आपने चावल रखा है, चावल में कितना फंगस आ रहा है, उसको नेगेटिव 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 बोल रहे हैं या पॉजिटिव 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 बोल रहे हैं। तो जिस चावल में, जिस पानी में चावल है और उसमें पॉजिटिविटी है, वहां बैक्टीरिया नहीं आता। जहां पर नेगेटिव 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 बोले बैक्टीरिया आ जाएगा। एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हुए हैं, किसी को नहीं पता तो यू कैन गो ऑनलाइन एंड चेक द एक्सपेरिमेंट्स, द लॉट ऑफ देम आर देयर। नाउ प्लांट्स जिनसे बात करते हैं, दे ग्रो मच फास्टर, एंड जिनसे नहीं बात करते, दे इवन डाई। It's all about what we're giving. Tomorrow we'll talk about the mechanism of letting go. Today, stay with these thoughts, stay with your high vibration, and see in the day kahan aap apne aap ko de-stress kar pa rahe ho. Rahul sir, let's move on to Rod Judkins' Art of Creative Thinking. So today, live a life of consciousness, live a life of abundance, live a life of feeling कि कहाँ पर मैंने इसको बहुत सोच लिया अपने बारे में, let me let go. This doesn't make any difference to me. So why am I letting it affect me? The minute we clear the clutter around us, internally and externally, our vibration, our frequency changes in life. That's the truth of life. Read the chapter is simple and small. It's very amazing. Mine your mind. Now everyone knows what mine is. Coal mines होती हैं, diamond mines होती हैं, where you are mining, right? So अपने माइंड का मंथन करना है, डिगिंग करनी, एक्सकवेशंस करनी है। Many entrepreneurs' best idea have come to them in their dreams. इसीलिए बोला जाता है कि keep a book of dreams or a little book of big ideas. सुबह उठते ही कैसा लिखना है, even हमारे डे स्कैन नोटबुक में वही है, because बड़े आइडियाज रात में आते। Elias Howe is credited with inventing the modern sewing machine, which has been remarkably successful due to its innovation of putting the eye of the needle at the point. How his family members explain how he came up with this idea. In his first attempts, he put the eye of the needle at the conventional end, but it didn't work. And one night he had a dream in which he was ordered to build a sewing machine by a cruel king in a strange country. The king gave him 24 hours or he'd be executed. He struggled with the needle's eye, but as in real life, he couldn't make it work. He was taken out to be executed. Noticed the soldiers had spears that were pierced near the point. The solution presented itself. The inventor begged for more time. At that point, he woke up. It was 4 a.m. in the morning. देखिए ब्रह्म मुहूर्त Western world में भी चलता है. This 4 a.m. club will make us so rich in every holistic part of it. Those who aren't waking up at 4, wake up at 4. Very important to wake up at 4. And if you can wake up at 3, the Amrit Vela 3 to 6, nothing like it. Anyways, 5 is even great, amazing, fabulous, but 4 is even more powerful. He jumped out of bed and he ran to the workshop, created a needle with an eye at the point. सोइंग मशीन देखी हुई दिखते हैं ना, वो जो नीडल अंदर जाती है उसमें, उसके अंदर धागा होता है and it keeps going up down stitching. That works very well. ये किसने इन्वेंट किया था? हार्वे ने किया था. In Sigmund Freud's book on creativity and the unconscious, he analyzed the creative mind. Freud believed that as children we used to express our creativity and imagination. We shared our feelings freely with others, enacted our fantasies unself-consciously. As adults, we became responsible, serious, and substitute imaginative play with daydreaming. Dreams are a valuable road into ideas and practical solutions. अगर आप daydream भी कर रहे हैं, अपने ideas को capture कर लीजिए, please, because some brilliant ideas come while daydreaming also. When an employee is standing at the office water cooler and daydreaming, that's probably the most important thing they've done all day. Many creative people have dreamed their products or services. The subconscious is a recognized source of creativity, inspiration. It releases us from the confines of a logical, practical mind. मैंने कई बार पहले भी बोला है, लॉजिक और मैजिक साथ में नहीं होते. मैजिक होता है जब आपका क्रिएटिव माइंड सोच रहा होता है, खुली आंखों से बंद आंखों से डजंट मैटर, सपने अनिवार्य है, इंपॉर्टेंट है. पावर ऑफ ड्रीम्स इज एब्सोल्युटली अमेजिंग. Great creative thinkers appreciate that looking deep into the workings of their mind reveals the unique and unexpected. But we have to mind for them. Andar dig karna padega. You will have to think down. Our conscious minds are too busy and preoccupied with day-to-day tasks to notice our great ideas. Conscious mind में इतना फितूर चल रहा है, नहीं आपके ideas register कर पाता. When our conscious mind is switched off because we are driving, taking a shower or whatever, ideas suddenly bubble up to the surface. I don't know for how many of you, a lot of my ideas come up when I'm playing with water, whether you are in the pool or whether you're, because water is a healer, water is an energy generator. When we're not trying to think, the cage to the door opens and our minds fly off in unpredictable directions and often land on the solution unexpectedly. कभी पूछो तो सही अपने ब्यूटीफुल माइंड से सॉल्यूशन के लिए, मांगा है क्या? अगर सॉल्यूशन प्रॉब्लम आई है, अगर क्वेश्चन करोगे तो आपका माइंड आपको जवाब 100% देगा. Salvador Dali had dreamt about a hand with hundreds of ants crawling over it. The film director Luis Buñuel dreamed of a cloud cutting through the moon like a razor blade slicing through an eye. They put the two together in a film called Anshio Andalo and created one of cinema's most memorable moments. Richard Wagner dreamt the prelude to Da Rheingold. Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventure in Wonderland is a journey into a subconscious mind. Now, this book has been read by every child. Alice in the Wonderland. Every child knows what happens when you go down the dream world. Is subconscious mind se puri ki puri book aayi hai. During sleep, your mind dips into unconsciousness. Your subconscious continues to ponder on issues or problems your conscious mind has been working on, even when you are not aware of it. इसीलिए सोने से पहले कोई प्रॉब्लम अगर है तो सुपुर्द कर दो अपने माइंड के कि मुझे सोल्यूशन चाहिए व्हेन आई वेक अप इन द मॉर्निंग. तभी कई बार रात को नींद खुलती है तो सोल्यूशन मिल जाता है, तो उसको हाथ के हाथ लिख लो. बहुत दूर जाओगे, ठंड लगेगी, नहीं लिखोगे, बेड से नहीं निकलोगे. अगर साथ में आपके पास है, मोबाइल भी एकदम से आंखें से चुंधिया जाएंगी, you will not write it. But if you have it, you will be able to do it. The benefit is that in subconscious, rationality does not censor unusual or irrational ideas. Ideas that would be rejected by the logical mind as too weird and given a chance to grow. आपका कॉन्शियस माइंड फॉलो करता है जो भी आपने सीखा है लॉजिकली. आपके थॉट्स लिनियर हो जाते हैं, ट्रैप हो जाते हैं फेमिलियर प्रेडिक्टेबल लाइंस में कि ये ठीक है तो यही होगा, कोई लॉजिकल है, मैंने ये सीखा है. लेकिन सबकॉन्शियस माइंड लिमिटलेस है, यहाँ bizarre ideas आते हैं which can be explored and might lead to special solutions, and that's what you want. इसलिए रात को सबकॉन्शियस माइंड हावी होता है, रात को आपकी पल्स हार्ट बीट बढ़िया चलती है, सबकॉन्शियस माइंड उसको लीड कर रहा है, आपका कॉन्शियस माइंड नहीं कर रहा. We all daydream. It is something that happens to us naturally and can't be avoided. Our mind wanders everywhere. You need to take advantage of the ideas and concepts you would find when exploring your subconscious mind. Try putting aside practical thoughts and dig a little deeper. Practicality ko side mein karo, dig a little deeper, mind your minds. The creative ideas you're watching for and searching for are swimming beneath the surface of your mind. आपके माइंड के एकदम नीचे जहां सबकॉन्शियस माइंड शुरू हो रहा है, वहां सब कुछ शुरू हो रहा है. You need to find ways to help them break the surface. The more you dive, the more you discover. So go inward. Sarah Ban Breathmack says, the world needs dreamers and the world needs doers. But above all, the world needs dreamers who do. Isn't this so beautiful? Dreamers हम सब होते हैं, करता कम होते हैं, you know. So जो dreamers भी हैं और जो करता भी हैं, they are what the world needs. Amazing quote, yes, Akshay, absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to the heart thoughts, and whoever wishes can read them. And today, very beautiful Alona and her husband Selish are going to be sending a Google form to all of you. Amrita will be broadcasting it. They'll be finding out your interest for the retreat in the month of Feb at Goa. That's what we planned when the first retreat ended. So the first session ends from a month from now. The live transformation series ends on 10th of January. And we're looking at going to Goa in the mid of February. So if you're comfortable with the finances and the plan, just give them a yes so that we can create with the hotel packages and everything and get back to you for registrations. If we have the right number of people, which we will have, then we will go forward and do it. Today's heart thought is about to do with parents. And very important to understand this, whether you are a parent or whether you have parents or whether you will be a parent, get this very straight. I make my own decisions. When we grow up, we have a tendency to create the emotional environment of our early home, the life that we've lived. We tend to recreate relationships we had with our mothers and fathers or what they had between themselves. Isn't this true? Knowingly, unknowingly, that's what we're creating. So let's go for it. Yes, Akshay, please read.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Many of you have past struggle games with your parents. Parents push a lot of buttons. If you want to stop playing the game, you are going to have to stop playing the game. It is time for you to grow up and decide what you want. You can begin by calling your parents by their first names. Start becoming two adults instead of parent and child.
That's why they do it. हमको नहीं जरूरत है अपने parents को नाम से बुलाने की. But what they're trying to say is that break away from the monotonous. You know, you are my father, you are my mother, you are this. They are. But don't allow them to push your buttons. Stop playing that game. Start taking up ownership. Mom, I can do it. Dad, I can do it. Trust me, I can do it. That's what it's all about. But you know, start taking your own decisions. Enough of societal pressure, enough of parental pressure. कि मेरा बच्चा ये career पढ़ेगा, ये करेगा. Let them live their life. Let them choose what's best for them and their soul journey. We haven't chosen them to come in our life. हमें लगता है हमने plan किया pregnant होने का, but they are coming because they've chosen us and our country, right? And our environment because they want to move in their journey. All right, everyone. Akshay, please record for us. Rahul sir, please make him the co-host so that he can record whenever. In fact, you can make Akshay the co-host every single day because Shivani has not been coming off late. So she's been traveling and busy in, I think, many things. So are we ready, Akshay? Yeah, thank you, my dear. All right. Our back straight. Our feet firmly placed in the ground below. Our hands in open mudra, kept on our laps, facing heavenwards. Our faces having a soft smile and our eyes lightly closed. Let's take a deep breath in. Fill your tummies with a lot of love. And as you exhale, you're sharing your love Keep inhaling and exhaling. Once more, take a deep breath in. Feel that you're a channel of light and feel lots of light within your body. And as you exhale, you're sharing your light with the world. Slowly, gently, lovingly. Take a deep breath in and fill your lungs with hope. Hoping for the world to be a beautiful place. And as you exhale, you're sharing your hope with the world, knowing it is definitely a beautiful place. I'm hopeful and I know it and I see it. Life is magical. Life is beautiful. Life is a priceless gift. Let's go deep within and find the hidden jewels inside us. When I have been made in the image of God, when I am full of love, when I am full of light, when I'm full of hope, why do I fear? When I'm divinely guided, when I know that I have the power to get all the answers to all the questions that I have by myself, why am I dependent on anyone else? Let me know that I am a thinking, feeling being. Let me know that I am a creative person, artist, a developer. And whatever is happening in my life is happening for a reason. Let me accept that with gratitude, humility, love, and kindness. Let me not be harsh to myself or to anyone else. Not everything goes exactly the way I want, but let me be assured that life has my back. Let me know that whatever happens is happening for a good cause. Let me know that I am magical. Let me be reminded that I am full of love. Let me be reminded again that I can ease off the pressure by simply letting go. There is no problem in the world. If I see the problems, it's because I know that there are problems. So let me change my mindset. And instead of seeing the problems, wish and hope and pray for a solution for the highest good of all. Let me become a channel of hope, of love, of light. Let me take myself away from this conditioning of disparity, of judgment, of procrastination, of doubt, of stalling. Let me be in action now. And let me know it's okay for me to fail. At times, the best lessons are learned when I see failure. It's all right. So if I'm not scared of failure anymore, then what am I scared about? When I am love, when I am light, when I am confident, when I serve with love, with light, with unconditional, unparalleled endeavors of mine, obviously I will only create magic. When I surrender into the divine, knowing that whatever I visualize manifests for me, and whatever doesn't, it's because something better is coming for me. Then why don't I celebrate? Let me be a dreamer. Yes, to dream is beautiful. Let me be a dream converter. Let me know that I am the one who can make my dreams come true because I'm divinely guided. Let me know that all I am is a channel of love. Let me know deep within that I am here for a reason, a purpose, a passion. Let me know that my profession changes when it has to change. Let me know that energy is all I have and good energy is all I give. Let me know that my vibrations change with my attitude. I have superpower. Let me use a superpower of gratitude, of love, of light. Let me create the right conducive atmosphere for my growth. Kritagata bhara life with Kritagya people around me. May I always create my thoughts. May I always reflect. May I always express. May I always achieve. And yes, I will. I am because I'm dreaming, I'm achieving, I'm believing. I ask being a believer, and I know I always receive the gifts of love and friendship, and my dreams have come true. Let me know something that meditation is very important for my growth. So let me go quiet every day to find myself because it's an inward journey. I need to mind my brain, my dream, my life, my subconscious. I need to learn, I need to evolve, and I am on the process and the pursuit. And so it is. And so it is. Let's bow our heads in gratitude towards Mother Earth. Express your gratitude, however, in your words. Now let's look at your eye level at just eyes closed. Express your gratitude to life, lessons, experiences that you've had in this life, past life, having right now, and will have in the future. Be grateful. Now let's open our arms and face towards the universe. Again, a round of gratitude in your language, in your words, to all the heavenly bodies. Let's hold our hands, be grateful, whoever, wherever, whichever place from heavens to earth. Let's rub our hands in gratitude and bless our head, our conscious, subconscious mind for allowing us to dream, convert them into reality, for giving us the strength, the love, the light, the passion, the commitment, the integrity. Let's bless our face. May we see better, think better, hear better, feel better, express better. Our neck, our shoulders, arms, upper to lower, lower to upper, shoulders, our backbone, upper back, middle back, lower back, our hips, our legs on the backside, up to down, our soles, top of our feet, our calves, our knees, our thighs, sexual organs, excretory organs, entire gut area with intestines, gallbladder, uterus, kidneys, liver. Go up and bless your lungs for breathing beautifully, for giving you the gift of life. Your heart for expanding. I am this heart full of love and light and this body full of energy, chi, ki, pran. Let's bless all beings on Mother Earth. May they be human beings, animal beings, plant beings, mineral beings, or rock beings. To all sentiency, may we attract them, may we grow into them, may we always be the channels of love, light, blessings, and abundance. Lots of love to everyone. Ritu, Akshay, Vijayji, Jitendraji, Pratimaji, Ushaji, Ruchi, Alona, Little Madam, Neetu, Surendraji, Kamakshiji, Anita, Minakshiji, Rohiniji, Pinaji, Nikita, Shami, Ankur, Reena, Shivani, Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am, Arvindji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings for everyone. Anybody has any sharings, any questions, any doubts? Basically, in this world of letting go, let's understand one main thing. We should live our day with a full awareness, consciousness. Jahan kabhi bhi we are attaching ourselves to something more, just drop it. Just let go. Consciously let go. ये मुझे लिमिटिंग थॉट मेरे लिए कुछ अच्छा नहीं कर रही है. कोई मेरे बारे में ऐसा बोल रहा है, मुझे उससे नहीं परेशान होना. मैं ऐसी हूं क्या, या मैं ऐसा हूं क्या? अगर आपका अंदर बोल रहा है यस आई एम लाइक दिस, ओके सो लेट मी चेंज. मुझे किसी में नेगेटिविटी दिख रही है या पॉजिटिव दिख रही है, ओ दिस इज माय एटीट्यूड. People are a reflection of me. So let's try and find ourselves, and very gradually we'll start learning the art of letting go. Yes, Akshay, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I want to know what should I name the meditation?
क्या किया हमने आज? Channel of love.
All right.
I guess. Thank you, Akshay.
Thank you.
So yes, let's be on this beautiful path. It's magical, and this 1 month is going to be absolutely beautiful. Today is 10th, and 10th is the last day. So let's make the most of it. Entering from December to the new year, let's make the most of it. Lots of love and light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love.